Joining us. Today has been off to a great start. We had the Flow fam hanging out live and rolling up their sleeves and answering all those burning Microsoft Flow questions this morning. And if any of you missed it by any chance, it was simply fantastic. And if you ever want to go check it out, go check out the recorded live stream at John Levesque's YouTube channel. And we have a lot going on in the Power Platform world with the April release and lots of Power Gossip to do for the rest of the hour. And today we have an exciting lineup, starting with a talk from Louise Priest, who is going to share her experience with Flow and also how it has been empowering her to be productive. Followed by two special guests from the Flow Pro Show, Sandy Ucia and Daniel Waskowitz. They have some really exciting news to share, and we can't wait to hear what that is. And then we have a demo from Blair Nisbet, who is joining us all the way from Scotland. He is going to demo his very cool Power App around SharePoint governance using Microsoft Flow as well. We're ready to kick it off, and Louise, this is all yours right now, and we can't wait to hear what you've got to share with us.
Yes, hi, good evening from me. So it's midnight in Germany, so perhaps a little bit tired. I just wanted to share some thoughts with you all and a nice demo as well. So perhaps you already know it, but perhaps I can share something with you which is already new to you. I started to work with Flow around 9 or 10 weeks ago, so I'm just a baby beginner, but I totally fell in love with it because when I realized what I was capable of when trying to learn new stuff, I really felt like Alice in Wonderland, and I love to really jump deep into that hole, and I had no idea how deep that was, and it was like this community is so helpful and supportive, and anybody gives advice and gives hints, but doesn't talk too much. So I can really achieve this by my own and make myself proud and become self-confident to find solutions and not only talk about solutions, but really build some. So yes, I think I wear the shirt with pride, and yeah, just want to show you my solution, how I would like to empower end users to really do their marketing process like like a boss. So what I did was some kind of preparation. First, I created a new folder in my Outlook contacts. This is very, very important because I don't want to create some mess inside there. Second thing, I created SharePoint list, and in that SharePoint list, I had several columns. I will show that to you in a moment. Wait a second. Okay. So you should see SharePoint list. Do you? I can't hear you.
Yep, we can see it.
Yep.
Yes, perfect. Thank you so much. So I have around just a few columns right here. Okay, this won't work. Opens my OneNote. This is nice, but I don't want to do that right now. After that, I created a very, very nice form. And I was like, hey, perhaps I'm not just sending stickers, but some brochures like how to build a Death Star from scratch, or my Insidious World Domination Plans 101. And just in kind you were interested how this works, couple of fields to fill out, so I can send this to you because for sure it's printed, and I can't just share a link with you. This is very, very important. And what my Flow does is the following. When a new response is submitted, I'd like to get the response details of that form. And after that, a new list item will be created. So the title and the Twitter handle, email address, the name, address details, and how many brochures someone wants to receive. For sure, I want to use that for my marketing process. So I need to create an Outlook contact. Very, very important, obviously. So you need a home phone item. So I just place a 0 in there. Otherwise, this isn't working, which is kind of interesting because when you want to create an Outlook contact in Outlook, this isn't a required field. So I just stumbled upon that. Of that, for sure, I'm a big fan of planner tasks. And I was like, hey, perhaps it could be easy to just create a task for each brochure I had to send. So I added some kind of dynamic contact here in the title and created before that for sure a bucket to store all those tasks in. And I used a nice expression to get a due date. So this is just 5 days after now. And unfortunately, I have to do this by my own. So this is my email address. I need envelopes for all those brochures. So I use the word connector so to populate word templates. I started in my OneDrive, so document library is OneDrive as well. And here I have that folder. I just navigated through this tiny little icon here. It's in my folder, Demo Contosa Marketing. And the document is called envelopes. So in this document, you can see it right here. Wait a second. I just enabled the developer tab, and here we have those control plain text content control fields, and I just mark that and press the little button here, so I get those envelopes for each time somebody submits a form. So this is a template, and after that a new file will be created in that particular folder. And this is very, very crucial to have a specific name for all these envelopes. And in my case, I was like its first name and last name, which is in my SharePoint list. For world domination plans or Death Star from scratch, and file content was that Microsoft Word document. So after that, I wanted to send an email to the one who submitted the form. So just Office Outlook 365 action with some nice details in it. Perhaps we could pretty up that a little bit, but for the first test, this will be okay. After that, I added some Power BI magic. So, oh, okay, I need to sign in again. Just wait a second. Please hold the line.
So what does it say in German?
What's this in German? Fast fertig. We're almost there.
Okay.
Wait a second. Yeah, so I always struggle with which of my apps are in German, and some of them are in English, and in different browsers they show total other behavior. So for this Hangout, I needed to do this in Chrome. Okay, this takes a little moment. So I will just continue to show you. I created a workspace, and in this workspace, are Power BI streaming data set, which just means to connect the data I already have in SharePoint and display them in Power BI. It was kind of very, very easy because I just had 3 rows. So the title of the brochure, the country, the brochure shall be sent to, the amount of brochures. So remember, in my form, I only had 2 options, like 1 or 10, which was kind of random to me. So this seems to take another. Okay, here we go. And I have this tab here. And now the fields should appear here. I thought that this was the case. They don't. So I will just have a look at it. Okay. So something is broken and it's already working. Okay. Oh, so didn't sacrifice enough chickens to the demo gods. So perhaps I would just do it another time, just like here on live. So I thought preparing could be a good idea, but if not, this is also okay for me.
We definitely see the idea. I mean, sometimes these don't work out what we want them to, but definitely see the idea. I think it's
okay. So I click on create.
Okay, there it is.
Create streaming data sets. I choose API. Click on next. Choose a name like demo Contoso marketing like boss. I need some values here. So these are the brochure. This is country, and this is the amount. And amount shall be a number because we want to count that. And this is really, really important. Whereas when we have this SharePoint list, and I'll place the amount in there. Where is it? Where is it? It's here. It's very, very crucial that this is really, really only text, single line of text, because otherwise the flow does not work. So I stumbled upon an error message. So we do this and click on create. So erstellen is to create in German. Nice lesson for you. And I click on ready. And after that, yes, you see it like here. And now I need to choose this here. Okay, just like another one. Click on plus, add action. I need Power BI. There we go. There's only one action we can choose from. So address to Power BI dataset. I choose the right workspace. This is my workspace. The unique identifier. It's like a bus with just a single S. It's nice. Real-time data. And now our 3 new fields just appear. And I click here on dynamic content and I choose for the title from my SharePoint list, this one here, and then the country. And just search. This is really, really easy. And after that, choose for amount that is here. So we can just delete this action that didn't work. I click on save. And after that, I could, I want to learn how to build a Death Star, and I need 10 brochures to share with my friends. Would be nice. And I need my email address, my Twitter handle, which is a dark, dark secret. My address, and my zip code, and city. And I do live in Germany, so this is nice. And I just click on set. And we just look at how this I think I saved it. So here it's running. So this is nice. Your flow runs successfully. Let's have a look what happens inside my Power BI streaming data set. I just create a report. Come on. This is really disappointing. But perhaps you could imagine what should have happened here. So here should appear our 3 fields, which we named like brochure, which is the title, the amount of brochures, and the country from the firm. And then when we here choose the right diagram or map or whatever, so the data gets visualized just right here. So right at the moment it doesn't work, so because for demo got reasons, but I think you got the point.
Yeah. So how long have you been doing workflows? Because this is I've been working in workflows and Power Apps for like a while. I haven't tried this myself, so this is amazing even before you even show it. This is crazy.
Yeah, so in total I work 9 or 10 weeks with Flow, and this Flow I work perhaps in total 2 or 3 hours to figure out all the things, how they come together. And in preparation of this hangout, I needed 20 minutes to click that together.
And also for those who want to know more, Louise, you have an awesome write-up, right? With step-by-step instructions on how to set it up, starting from kicking off a form to generating those envelopes with the addresses, up until Power BI report dashboard, where it actually shows you metrics around how many orders have come in, mapping them to geographical locations, and we will add a link to that under our show notes, and be sure to check it out.
Yes, absolutely. So I think I will just provide the link to that so that everybody can follow that. And please, if anybody has any questions on that, just please reach out. I'm happy to help.
I love that you said need. I love that when you were talking about going through the flow, you were like, I need this, I need that, and I need this. And it was just like, okay, so I did that, and I did this, and I did that. And I think that's the beauty of flow. I think that's the beauty of what we're all seeing happen. And you're certainly switched onto it. And I, when you first started talking about this marketing thing, I had this vision of being a young graphic designer sitting there and someone coming in and saying, oh, we need to do this big campaign and you've got to stuff all the envelopes. I've done it, and it's like, oh God, I just think this is a solution for everyone. I think this is like, it's another one of those templates that if you want to have and I think these sorts of things should be on the flow templates, where you've got like a thing that says, I want to do a marketing mail shoot. What does that look like? And here's a start of a 10. I really do. Because it's driven, like you say, Louise, it's driven. I've got some stickers somewhere that says, think about what the business needs, not about the features.
So they're on my phone. Yeah, so being so seeing this flow as a template would be an incredible honor, and I could submit this, and till this happens, just follow my step-by-step instructions with the which we for sure will provide in some order. So I don't know how we do this, as this is the second time I'm here in the PowerAddicts Hangout, but for sure I'm very pleased that you all will help me to do this.
Thank you, Louise. Thank you so much for your time and for online.
Sorry, I just wanted to give a shout out to Louise for all her other Office 365 stuff as well. She writes some great posts, on simplifying your email life, your to-do life, and all that stuff. She has helped me a lot on that. My email life, I'm zero inbox now. So
Oh, this is so cool to hear.
yeah,
So,
so do check out her Medium kind of thing. She writes a lot of posts on that, so do check that out as well.
Do you know the amount of people that I was privy to conversations walking around the summit, the Power Platform Summit in Amsterdam, and the amount of people that were talking about that one single Medium post about zero inbox. And I think it was Alison from Maximum IT. She said, "My God," she said, "like if it wasn't for Louise, I wouldn't be able to do all this stuff because I'd be drowning in emails. You know, she's taught me email like a boss." So yeah, it's like that was, yeah, for me, I think it's probably the most important the most important thing I've done this year was follow Louise's guide to sorting out my email.
now you all have me blushing. Thank you. This is a good night.
I think we smell a Netflix TV show coming up next for Louise to show us how to take care of our inboxes. Like, I forgot her name, but the lady from Japan.
Could be the Marie Kondo style.
Yes.
Yeah, so actually this is Marie Kondo, and
what's your tagline going to be? I know Marie Kondo has a tagline: if it gives you happiness, then keep it. Otherwise,
yeah.
no.
So
what's your tagline for that?
So last weekend I spoke about modern workplace at Chef and Saturday Show, and I had a Marie Kondo slide in my presentation. So I'm happy to share that with you as well. So yes, our stuff needs to spark joy, and otherwise it should be archived or deleted as well. So nothing should last forever in your tenant.
Well, thank you, Louise. Thank you for being so awesome and taking your time and coming and sharing all the impressive journey you've had with Flow, and we look forward to seeing you blog and vlog more about it.
Yeah, thank you. No pressure.
Yep. And so now we have the Flow Pro Show hosts here, Daniel and Sandy. And I know you guys have your next the Pro show scheduled in April. Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
we did one last month, and that was the first one actually, or it was in February. Sandy, what was it? February, right?
In February.
Yeah. So that was the first one.
Yes.
We did a live show, and it was just on Teams, and people could join in, and we did it around community actually, because there's lots of good stuff in the Flow community. And we were talking to John and Gabriel from the Flow team, and we did some explanation about what's there actually. What kind of forums can you find there, and what kind of content can you find there? And that's actually what we really want to show, the stuff that's probably for us that's the go-to stuff, but a lot of people don't know about it. So we really want to show everybody that kind of stuff. So we did the first one in February, and we recorded some interviews during the MVP summit with the Flow MVPs, and we recorded our own piece actually yesterday, I thought it was. So yeah, we did that, and now we're kind of creating the video, and we'll put it live really soon.
Right.
So
that is awesome, and I believe you guys have some groundbreaking news for us for your next Pro show.
Yeah.
Is going to be.
So Sandy, tell us.
Yeah, we do. The next one. Can you hear me all right? Yeah, hear me?
I believe it's a little choppy though, but you want to give it a shot again? Let's try it again.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. So our next show will be April 22nd at 1 o'clock Eastern. It'll be a live show on Teams again, and we'll we'll broadcast that and tweet that out and so on. And our special guest is going to be Steven Siciliano, who is the owner of Flow at Microsoft, basically. And he's in the April release notes. So we're pretty excited about that.
So did everybody get that?
Awesome. So yeah, Daniel, if you want to just, because I know that it was a bit choppy, so if you want to repeat it.
I don't know.
For others, yeah.
Yeah, you can repeat, Daniel,
Yeah,
if you
so
want.
the
Sorry.
22nd of April, we are doing a live show with Steven Siciliano of the Flow team. He's the lead of the Flow team, actually. And he's going to talk about all the great features that are in the April release. And yeah, there's lots of cool stuff coming. And yeah, I hope he will show something,
Right.
or at least we'll talk about it. So yeah, really looking forward to that one.
Is there anything in the release, Daniel, that will help you win a battle royale? Is there anything in there, mate, that will help you beat me next time? Is that going to be you?
I didn't cheat with the Brexit, dude.
Still a throw down.
Yeah. You wanted my flow though, did you?
Oh man, listen, that thing is like seriously. You've got to see what you got. I'm not going to talk about Daniel's flow. Daniel's flow is absolutely like the thing that every business needs to sort out teams. So if anyone's listening and you've got sprawl, which I believe is the word that everyone talks about with teams, it's teams and sprawl. Daniel's got the solution in a flow. It's awesome.
Yeah. So yeah, yeah, about the Flow Pro show. Yeah, we are doing the one with Stephen, and we are of course looking for other guests, because we want to do a lot of those shows. So yeah, let's yeah, if you want to join, just keep in contact, and we can schedule a great meeting.
Awesome. Could you kind of like walk us through what the format or agenda of your shows are going to look like?
Yep. Yeah, we have a list.
So Sandy, can you do that without cracking your phone? No? Okay. So yeah, usually we start with the features, the new features that have come out from the product team, and we just walk by them. So everything that came out on the blog and every new feature, we talk about it, and yeah, we tell everybody what we think about them, and which ones we really find useful and which we kind of don't. And then after a while, we'll start talking about community blogs, community vlogs, and other exciting stuff. Yeah, and then it's always time for the exciting guests. So yeah, that's usually a part of our show. That's kind of a format.
That sounds really exciting. I think everybody's looking forward to the next one with the actual Flow man, the owner of Flow, coming on over the show.
Yeah.
So, and everybody's going to come in with their burning Microsoft Flow questions for him.
Yeah.
That's
yeah,
one
really
to
looking
look out for.
Yeah, we warned him that we might take some questions from the audience.
That is awesome. So are you guys going to be sharing a link for the next Hangout, for the Flow Pro show?
Yes, we will when we have one.
Yeah. Yeah, it will of course be on our YouTube channel. But for the live part, we will put it on our Twitter handles, so they can find it up there.
Yeah, the last time we did a Teams meeting, and then we where so people could put that in their calendars.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay. Thanks, guys. Thanks for having us on.
Thanks for joining us today and taking the time to talk to us about the Flow Pro show and getting the word out. We're all very excited and looking forward to it.
Yeah. Well, thanks for having us.
Yep.
Anytime. And so now we have Blair Nisbet joining us all the way from Scotland. And he is going to demo a very cool app that he built for SharePoint governance using PowerAddicts and Microsoft Flow.
Yep, so
There
hopefully
it
you
is,
can
all
hear me
yours.
now. Yep, so 2 seconds and I will hopefully screen share. And let me know if you can see that okay? All okay?
Yes, we can.
Yep.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
see your
so
PowerAddicts.
sort of requirement for this came from sort of moving to a customer-centric sort of structure within SharePoint. So what we basically needed to do was allow the sales team to create their own sites from a template as and when they needed. So obviously to stop harassing IT every 5 minutes for a brand new site. We basically came up with this Power App that allows them to do it themselves. So bear with us here and hopefully this will work. So yeah, a few bits and bobs to it sort of grew arms and legs as they tend to do. So the first sort of requirement we had was, as I said, creating a new site. So over here, can create a new site and basically it's just your customer name. So pop that in and hopefully this will work. Fingers crossed, it's thinking about it. So what we're doing here, just while I'm waiting on this loading, is trying to minimize duplication as well. So obviously checking on-premise lists as well. So this is tied into a SQL table at the back end. So just seeing if the customer already exists and, there's some logic around the submit request button there just to say, if there's so many customers already exist, you can't submit it. Obviously go and check with us just to see if you can do any more there. And obviously you've got a link there to open the site straight away as well. One of the sort of requirements we had as well, and this was where I sort of ran into a bit of issues and a few challenging moments, was trying to get the concept of child accounts. So basically if a company owns another account, we had to basically come up with a SharePoint choice column that allowed you to capture that as well. So if my Dev 1 here had a Dev 1.1, for example, how we could capture that as well. So I'll show that in the flow, how I managed that. And obviously just the sales managers here, so it's just a simple lookup column to the SharePoint list backend. So in there you can type in as many people as you want there. So hopefully I should be able to get this firing off if you bear with us. Search for myself there and click submit. So just to show you the flow, so as I said, it's tied into a SharePoint list in the back end and sort of go down 2 different branches here. So what happens is on the right hand side, we've got that customer choice, and this is basically to allow that multiple choices there. So if the customer only has one parent account, it just basically goes up and updates a hidden column back within that original SharePoint list. With one value, whereas if it's got multiple accounts within the same site, what happens here is we basically go through and format a few variables just to remove any spaces, any sort of grammatical errors that the sales staff have put in, and then same again, just go back and update that item there. On the right hand side, left hand side is basically cleaning up the URL, so building up the URL for the new customer site for SharePoint. So the biggest thing that I sort of ran into here was cleaning up the URL to remove any special characters. So if anyone knows any way better of doing this, please let me know. But basically what I had to do was many replaces to go through and look at any apostrophes, colons, anything like that, basically to try and remove them and just get a clean URL. So a bit of a painstaking there, but as I said, if anyone knows anything better, please do let me know. So once that's done, basically goes for approval. So just comes back to IT just to say, yep, everything looks good there. So, just checking that all the variables are correct. Obviously, we can go in and review the item. And once that's done, when we just approve it. So I've just approved this one on my phone. So hopefully I should be able to see this run in a minute. So obviously at the bottom of the flow here, just a simple yes or no. If it's rejected, obviously it just goes back and updates that initial SharePoint list item and obviously sends a rejection email to the user that submitted it. On the left-hand side, same sort of thing, goes through and updates that SharePoint list item to approved and fills in the URL. and basically where we're bringing in a bit of Azure function apps to run a bit of PowerShell to obviously go and create these sites. So in here, just sort of formatting a JSON message so the Azure function can pick that up. So a few variables there. And as I said before, just picking up that final email there to send off to the user to say their site's been created. So hopefully, just touching on a bit of Azure now, this should hopefully work. Fingers crossed. And I don't think it's going to show it, but just jumping a bit of PowerShell here for anyone that likes SharePoint out there as well. What we're sort of doing here is we're getting that request body, so obviously that's where that JSON message is coming in, and just going through and basically creating those sites. So what we've done with Azure Functions, just a bit of background in that, was trying to keep the time down to much as possible, is basically daisy chained them out, so split it into 3 different functions. So one that creates the initial site, next one here basically goes through and applies that template, so there's consistent branding, document libraries, columns, anything like that is all unique, standard throughout the sites. And final one here, sorry, is it goes through and applies those security choices, so it adds in those sales managers and that customer choice there, so you know if it's 1 customer, if it's 2 customers, and also does a bit of the default values further down here as well. So basically looking at if there's more than 1 customer on the SharePoint choice column, defaults it to blank. If not, it just sets a default value there. Once that's done, the final flow, basically down here, it will send an HTTP request, so that flow listens out for that, and it basically emails the user to say that's it done there. So I can hopefully bring up one that's ran, and yeah, that's basically what it looks like here. So hopefully it all ran okay. Just a shame it didn't come up in Azure there. But yeah, it just goes through and obviously cleans that URL, so builds up that final end of the URL there. If the customer choice is here, obviously if it's not got any, it just fills in that initial value there back to my dev test there, obviously sends it through for approval, and down at the very bottom here, just passes on that message to Azure to listen there, and that's what picks it up. So as I was sort of saying before, it sort of grew arms and legs, so added a few more bits of functionality, and it all sort of revolves around the same thing, just multiple flows and function apps doing different things. So a few examples here was if a company buys another company over, we've got the ability to merge sites back together, so it'll go for approval as well using Flow, and the Azure functions will basically merge those sites together, so it'll copy all the documents across to the new site, it'll update all the choice columns, and same again here a bit more importantly around permissions. So what we can do here is if a sales staff member changes or leaves the business, what you can basically do is go through and change all those sites that are owned by that sales manager to a new user, or same again, if you want to add or remove a specific person, you can click in that and it'll remove them or grant them permissions there. So if I just pick in myself, hopefully I should get a few sites. There we go, and hopefully that'll go away in search there, and my 2 examples come back here, so you know I can add them into the collection below, and if I click submit, same again, that'll go off for approval just using Flow, and format a JSON message to pass back over to the Azure functions there, and hopefully that'll work. Yep, so that's basically the extent of it there. So a few nitpicky things that we sort of ran into was sort of filtering the table there. It took us a bit of difficulty just getting the formula right. Sorry if I just go into that one. I think it was, nope, wrong screen, sorry, was it this one? So yeah, just a bit of delegation warning as well. So trying to filter how we could get the current sales manager to show, and obviously sort of filter the views so the new sales manager didn't show as well. So unfortunately there's a bit of delegation warning there, but same again, have plans to share this code and write a blog in it as well, hopefully, so other people might find it handy. So if anyone has any ideas on how to overcome the sort of delegation warning here, much appreciated. But yeah, I think that's the extent of it there. So been out for a few months now, people are using it, and so far the feedback's great as well. So yeah, hopefully that provided a bit of insight just to what you can do with SharePoint and Power Apps and bringing in a bit of Azure functions as well.
I think that was brilliant, Blair. I think I love that you incorporated Azure function into the mix, and that makes it even more performant and very quick. And 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 the best part is, you don't have to be a coder if you don't want to go through the hoops of doing PowerShell. You
Yeah, I
have a
think
lot
that's
of these. Yeah, you have a lot of these templates available by all the other community contributors. You pretty much grab those templates, just change the configuration to point to your site, or change the GUID in it, and drop it in Azure, and just have your flow kick off those JSONs dropped into the queues, and let it run.
Yeah, and I
That's
think that's one of the things that sort of disappointed me. Obviously, just sort of gotten into Azure in the past few months recently, but PowerShell's still not a supported language in Azure Functions. It's still an experimental one, so hopefully, obviously, get some support behind that, and Microsoft hopefully have plans to bring that into a production as well. So that's the only thing that's a bit wary, and obviously where it would sort of pay to be a developer that you can write it in C# instead of PowerShell there. So fingers crossed for that one.
Yes, and I do want to point out that April and I were at SharePoint Saturday Houston, and we had Reza Durrani do a demo about how he uses site design and site scripts. And what he'd used was an Azure Automation standard connector. So he created a runbook on the Azure resource group and added the PowerShell commandlets there, and he just kicked off the runbook from that connector rather than dropping it in a queue and waiting for it. So that's another possible way to accomplish what you're trying to do as well.
Yeah, that might be something to consider.
Yeah.
Can I ask
So how long did it take for you to build this out? Sorry.
No, sorry. I think obviously there's a few moments that you just sort of I got a bit frustrated with it, but I think in total from end to end was probably about a month. Obviously didn't spend a full month at it, but it was just a few hours here, a few hours there, and obviously the requirements sort of changed along the way as well. But yeah, probably about a month from start to finish. And I think that's obviously the joy as well as obviously the cost of it as well, that we're just paying per run for the Azure functions, and obviously Flow and Power Apps is all included within the license as well. So obviously when you look at some of the SharePoint tools out there, you can be paying thousands of pounds a year. So I think that was one of the key benefits as well that sort of drove it forward in terms of time as well.
Can you use the I don't know much about provisioning SharePoint. I'm a CVS guy, but can you use the thing that Audrey demoed the other week, the SharePoint HTTP connector? Can you throw that and do what you want with that, or is it too limited? Is that not the same?
No, I've not seen, and correct me if I'm wrong here, but I've not seen anything that will sort of connect to the admin side of SharePoint. I've only sort of seen stuff for creating files or updating list items, nothing that will allow you to do sort of any admin functions. But
I won't provision the site. Okay,
yeah,
right, fair enough. I think she was creating some sort of library thing. I don't know. That's not the same. All right, fair dues. So what you're really saying in Blair is what we've been banging on about for ages is if only there was like admin connectors like we've got for Power Apps and Flow for the rest of 365. That would make life a lot easier.
Definitely. But fingers crossed it comes one day.
What was the hardest bit, man? Like other than outside of the Azure functions bit, yeah, we all get that. It's difficult. But
I think probably the biggest bit for us was coming back to that filter in that gallery. So when you want to transfer a sales manager, so when you want to remove a sales manager from a site, how to filter the gallery not to show items where the current sales manager is, but also the new sales manager not to show items where he or she has access as well. So I don't know if I just got a bit tunnel vision around this, but it took me a few days to try and work out how to double filter the gallery.
Yeah. I can see where like that delegation warning probably was like,
Yeah, so I sort of got a bit of roadblock with that, and obviously, as I said, I drop in the formulas and all that for this on a blog. Hopefully, get that out in the next few weeks as well. So, if anyone's got any ideas on how to combat that, more than welcome.
No, I think it's awesome, man. I think what you've done is awesome. I think the replace and a replace and a replace. I'm wondering whether you could do that with a loop of various characters and go through and replace each one. That might be a way of doing that.
That might
But
be a
other than
shout.
that, that's a Vivek question. He's the man when it comes to flow around here in April. You know, they are MVPs after all. You know.
Ooh. But one of the things which Brian mentioned on the delegation thing, so the filters that you were using were nested, so you could just separate it. Like, so filter kind of placement works with multiple conditions, so you could add multiple within one filter. I don't know if that works to kind of get rid of the delegation stuff, but
looking at it, Vivek, I think there was a complex field in there that looked like to be the SharePoint people field in there, and that's a complex field, and that always throws delegation warning. So if you separate because you've got that user email, so if you identify that, store that somewhere else, and then look at that thing in a text box or something, you might be able to spoof it into not
into getting delegation.
Yeah, a bit of PowerAddicts syntactic sugar, as they say.
Yeah.
And Blair, I know you are probably not watching the comments on our live chat on our YouTube channel, and I just wanted to read out some of the comments people have been adding based off of your demo. We had Brian mention that he loves the logo on your app. We have the Mark Christie saying that's awesome, Blair, and Michelle Wong says it's a nice, good-looking power app.
Yeah, so keeping the company colours there, so purple it as much as we can.
It's very similar to the Power Apps purple, so.
I've been strictly told by our marketing team that it's a different shade of purple, so I've been told severely.
Anybody else have any questions or feedback or comments for Blair?
Nope.
I think I'm.
Okay. Gita, what is there anything else that we're gonna cover? Or?
I was just checking on YouTube if anybody had any questions for him. Just giving him a few minutes to see if they have any questions. So Blair, are there any other fun stuff that you're working on in the Power Platform world?
Nothing is probably as exciting as that. I mean, a few other things that sort of working on is obviously sort of seen a few other examples of it floating about as well. Looking at, I think Audrey done a video on it as well. I think that was ages back about using the Bing API. So when our sales team are out in the field, they can basically bring up a Power App and search for any customers that are near about them. So within a certain radius, they can set that radius, and it will basically pinpoint them in the map, and it will pinpoint any sort of prospects or customers that are round about them. So I think that was another sort of wee quick win as well. And yeah, I think the other sort of thing that I'm trying to play about with as well was Lisa touched on it there as well about auto-populating documents. So got a few purchase order templates at the moment in SharePoint. So basically looking, you know, what kind of happens with purchase orders that you start chasing people about the office, trying to get them to sign it. So basically looking at Flow and DocuSign or Adobe Sign and just seeing like can we sort of digitize that process from start to finish. So yeah, I think that's probably just the two other sort of things that are burning away in the background at the moment.
It's very cool. I like how you're using the Bing API to proactively generate leads.
Yeah, I think that was the most challenging bit, was trying to get the syntax right for the URL. So that took us a while to try and get the ampersands in the right place.
So did you mentioned DocuSign? Was that DocuSign or Adobe Sign?
Sort of looking at both at the moment, so just seeing what one sort of works in better with what we're trying to do. So we've got trials for both of them, so just seeing which one works best.
Okay, yeah, working with Adobe Sign right now is And I actually saw someone earlier had a question about Adobe Signs, and it's having a few issues as well. So I would love to sync up with you once you get into digging a little bit deeper into it, and maybe we can share some notes.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, just wanted to kind of read out some comments, what people are excited for, something that's coming up new. And one thing was the embedded canvas apps and model-driven apps, where there's more integration now. You can refresh, you can open some other forms directly and stuff. So something everyone is pretty excited about, because that was one of the big myths before that. So, and the other thing which I saw some people talking about Forms Pro, pretty excited about that as well. So I don't know if anyone else has to share something about that.
Yeah, I think you need to keep an eye out on Emoji Meg's posts on Twitter. She's got a whole bunch of stuff coming, content coming for that. Like repeated hackathons, we've seen forms used to capture external data time and time and time again, and it seems to be it's almost PowerAddicts Lite for external. Everyone's asking, we need PowerAddicts, we need PowerAddicts to give to our customers. And yeah, I get it, like 100%. But I think this forms thing's pretty good. And I've seen way more forms in use in business with a QR code on a piece of paper on the wall, capturing data, than I have seen PowerAddicts in business doing stuff. So forms is big. I think the IT lot have kind of glossed over it because it's a bit too easy. I think it was like, because anyone could put it together. I don't think anyone's really done any documentation on it. And now Forms Pro's there, and I think Megs is going to massively smash it. So subscribe to her Twitter feed and to her blog. Her blogs are excellent anyway. But if she's going to write this stuff out in the detail that she's doing it now, then definitely go for that. I think the only other thing I've got feedback on really is it's just the stuff from Summit, where I was lucky enough to go and do a number of sessions. It was really good fun. Everyone learned a whole bunch. I think the standout take-home thing from me, though, on top of all of the PowerApp stuff and all the community stuff that we learned and all this amazing content, was Rory Neary, going to have on the show soon, talking about his digital shed. He needs a shed to tinker in at the bottom of his garden. So rather than try and make do with his work tenant or with all of the constraints and everything, he just spin up a £15 a month 365 instance for himself, his own individual thing, and he could play away around in it into his heart's content. And he was doing all sorts of cool stuff. Yeah, it was absolutely brilliant. So definitely do that. That's the best bit, because everyone's always moaning about what admin will let them do and what they won't do, and Rory's doing it. So yeah, it's really, really incredible stuff. Great fun.
Yeah, and I'm also excited for the feature that's on public preview right now, viewing the results of formulas and sub-formulas. You don't have to anymore, hide them in labels and go to the collection to look at your variable results and things like that. You can pretty much see them right in line right there. So I think that's a pretty cool feature that's coming up on the PowerApp side. And on the Flow side, I'm pretty excited for the copy-paste action. I can't wait for it to be live and be able to use it. It's going to save a whole lot of time. Yeah. Okay, so we have about 5 minutes, and so we were thinking maybe we all give a shout out to someone, just a quick shout out, and just a quick reason for why we want to give a shout out to them. Do we want to get started on that?
Sure, I'll start because it's easy. Because me and Geetha just went to SPS Houston over the weekend, so I had the opportunity to set in a lot of good Power Apps and flow-based talks. So Uday, Haniel, and Reza all had really good talks relating to Power Apps and Flow. So I just want to give them a shout out and thanks for their great content, and really enjoyed their talks.
Keith, you want to go next?
Yeah, so I just want to give a shout out to Daniel Leskowitz, who's in bed right now. I assume that, but yeah, so he helped me to rebuild his flow when he wanted to provision a team, and I, as an end user, understood what you did, and yes, big heart for that. Just for this patience, and yes, I will go on with learning.
Keith, do you want to go next?
Yeah, I'll go for one. So I'm going to shout out to Andrew Welch. So I'd never met this guy before. We're all kind of like huddled away, eating and drinking in Amsterdam, having a great time. And this guy, he is absolutely top dollar when it comes to Power Apps and governance and all that kind of stuff. I can't believe I didn't and wasn't following him on Twitter. So you guys get out there and follow that guy because he is super cool. Thank you, Andrew, for putting up with me and my usual BS.
Anton, your turn.
So, first, give shouts to all you guys because you make my day and my nights. Second, is
Shush, Anton, stop talking about the nights, man. We agreed not to talk about that.
I get no sleep because of you all. Second person is Brian Dang. This weekend we spent a few hours just watching Brian show his wizardry. Like it was kind of watching Harry Potter, like put certain spells on Power Apps and make things happen that I was not expecting to see. And the second person I want to give a shout out to, and I know she may not be here, but such an up and comer, and she makes me excited. Lauren Taylor. Lauren she's a beast. I hate to use the word is beast, but she's amazing. So much promise. I can't wait to get a chance to actually meet her. And yeah, so that's all I have. Thank you guys.
Dude, she is so clever, man. She is like, I've done a lot of remote sessions with people, and sometimes it's like pulling teeth. But you say to her what she needs to do, that girl's brain is like done. She is super smart, man.
I think she was recently in Microsoft, and she was wearing PowerAddicts. I mean, whatever. Yeah. So yeah, she's one of the PowerAddicts. So yeah, my turn now. So quick shout out to Samir. I know all of us know him. A lot of people probably don't know him, but he's the one who I met him during the MVP summit, and I mean he's the guy who brings all the customer success stories to the life, right? He's amazing at it, and I mean he's kind of spreading the love. He was really, I mean, every time I have talked to him, it's always been inspiring. So I know he's probably on the chat. So Samir, thank you.
That's awesome. I'm going to give a shout out to Blair because this is his first time coming up on a live hangout, and the first time I reached out to him, and he was completely down for it. Thank you for being so awesome, Blair, and for coming online and being generous enough to share what you've built with the community and taking the time. I know it's really late into the night for you, or probably it's the beginning of a new day for you right now, but thank you for being here. And I'd also like to give a shout out to all our attendees. They have always been supportive of us, and they're always trust us in the quality of content we provide. And so a huge shout out to each and every one of you out there. Thank you all.
And before we end, the next hangout is on 14th May. It will be second Tuesday of every month. So watch out for more information on that. We'll have some special guests.
All right, everybody have a good day, good night, good morning, whatever part of the world you're from. We look forward to seeing you all on our next Hangout. Thank you all again for joining us today.